Here we go. Picks and Bans game number 2. KT gonna try to close it out 2-0. Janair wants to tie things. Zareth ban immediately. Do you think, Captain Jack, do you think it's worth a Callista ban?
I would do it just to see what happens, honestly. But when they're on the red side, you know, KT will have a few other considerations this time around. Now, Janair, same bans we saw last time, but they probably won't ban Gnar on blue side, so that'll be up to KT. KT may try and leave up the Rek'Sai, because that has been one of Score's favorite junglers to use, and he's gotten it a surprising amount of the time as well. So,
I almost feel like,
I think that's smart. I think that's a very smart pickup.
I almost feel like first pick is a little bit of a disadvantage to Janair right now.
We'll see what they can pull out of it. I think they're thinking about, do we ban the Rek'Sai here, and then just see if we can get the Gnar without giving up too much for it.
They would be giving up the Lissandra as well if they did that too. It's a tough choice.
I'm a bit concerned here because Janair, there are now 4 bans against GBM's champion pool on the table. These are all champions that he likes to play. Kassadin will be taken out. I mean, he hasn't played too much Kassadin.
He could do the Morgana. He could do the Orianna.
Yeah, this is looking more and more like it's tilting towards an Orianna or Jace game for
that's it.
GBM. Now, I'm not a big fan of GBM's Jace, but he does play it. I think the Orianna certainly a stronger champion for him at the moment. See if he has anything new to pull out, though, as well. Lissandra's still available. Lissandra should be first picked here by Janair. Almost certainly they need to take the Lissandra.
GBM's Lissandra can be very, very good, too. Yeah, you got to take it.
Yeah, you take Lissandra here because Nagne actually did play well. Nagne will probably play Azir this game, so it's going to be Gnar, Rek'Sai, and then we'll more than likely see Nagne's Azir.
So that'll give Chaser Jarvan if he wants, which could be a little bit more of a comfort pick, I would say, this time around. And the Morgana's still available for Trace as well, too. Yeah, Sivir up, too, as well. Captain Jack.
And Rumble. Obviously not a preferential matchup against the Gnar, but they can always lane swap against it and see what they can do. They don't have to pick it immediately, of course. No danger of that Rumble being selected with Gnar already locked in. I imagine this Rek'Sai will be locked in. They may be talking about further steps in the draft.
There we go.
You know, I'm a big fan of professional teams letting the timer run out so you have the maximum amount of time to talk, even if you've already made your decision.
Yeah,
that was something that I really insisted on in my coaching for teams to do. I think that locking in quickly, there's not really a need to do it. But it will be Janna and Corki, so Captain Jack falling back on that pickup. And in fact, the Sivir will be taken again. Arrow did do quite well on that champion in the last game. High amounts of engage again for KT.
I'm a little bit surprised they didn't take away the Sivir. You know, I mean, that's if you're just going to run Corki again. You know, Pilot plays a perfectly fine Corki. Did a great job last game, whereas Captain Jack really kind of a Sivir master for a long, long time, for years. So I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, you take away the Morgana here. This is a good draft from KT. That is one thing that KT has done consistently well, in spite of their flaws in their gameplay, is their draft has actually been very good and very consistently good over the course of the season. It's rare to look at KT and say, wow, they really put themselves at a disadvantage in the pick and ban phase. It's been on point. So I think their coaching staff definitely doing work in that regard, and the players, the ones dropping the ball a little bit in terms of executing the game plans, could be a Jace here. A little bit of ambiguous pickup. We don't see top lane Jace that often these days, but against the Gnar, we may see it.
You can see that. Yep. The Ezreal, the Master Yi, that'd be nice.
Did Ezreal. Looks like GBM may be wanting to take that. I think the assumption here is that there's going to be an Azir pickup. And so they want to deny that possibility, and instead, I mean, Zed is not actually the best champion against mid lane Ezreal because the Iceborne Gauntlet can shut him down a little bit.
Yeah. You know, you never know. It could also be a mid Morgana as well, too. KT taking a page out of Janair's book, even.
Well,
doubt we're
more
going
like
to see the
Samsung's book this year.
Oh, that too.
Ooh, interesting. I don't think it's actually going to be a Katarina. The Glacial Tomb would make that very difficult. Orianna would be a very safe pickup. If difficult to actually hit people, especially the 280 carries with the ultimate.
Yeah. Huh. Well, Gnar can be pushed away fairly easily by John as well, too. Will be Orianna, though, for Nagna.
All right, interesting. So we're going to see how well Ezreal does, or how well GBM's Ezreal does, because this is a new champion for Gangbang. So, of course, we've seen it a lot from players like Faker and Coco, but not so much from the Jin Air Green Wings.
Well, GBM has been impressive on pretty much everything he's touched so far this season. We'll see if he can keep the streak going.
Yeah, that pickup was really just to put pressure on them to not pick Azir. I think we have seen that matchup go in favor of Ezreal in the past. So I think it's a smart draft there. Very safe draft as well from Jin Air. And we'll see if someday can perform well on this Gnar. He did win an Azubu Superplay Award for a great Gnar engage, and that was also Gnar Rek'Sai run by KT Rolster. Score really following up on the Gnar ultimate quite well with a knock-up. So, they've got a lot of synergy. They have pretty strong engage and a big wombo combo coming in. So Jin Air looking to siege and disengage here. They've got that double AD trying to take up some of those towers early on.
I think the big pressure, though, is on Chaser. Can he perform a lot better than what we saw in game number 1? Can Jin Air force a game 3? It's time to get in the game and find out. Welcome once again to Summoner's Rift, Jin Air Green Wings versus KT Rolster. And GBM's Ezreal. Let's see how it goes.
I think he'll do quite fine on this champion. It does fit into a lot of his other picks. He likes these long-range champions. Saw his Ahri and the mobility that he did very well with in that last game.
Yep. Maybe he'll do what's popular right now on the Korean server. I've been seeing it a lot. I don't know if it is on the other servers too, but AP Ezreal has been a thing that has been played a lot lately. In my games anyway. I don't know why, just suddenly this week.
Starting Doran's Blades does seem slightly unlikely, but
yeah, which is good, because Ezreal, AP Ezreal is not good, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I know your two-shot barrage does like 1,000 damage, but it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Especially because this time Jin Air, while they really did go heavily into AP last game, they've got such, if Ezreal goes AD, with the mixed damage from Corki, they have such a very well-balanced composition in terms of damage, so it'd be a little silly for Ezreal not to go for the attack damage this game, and I did not know that Recall made a bunch of Poros.
Oh, what do you know? Well, learning something new every day. Isn't that nice?
I suppose.
See, you know what Riot could do to really expand this game? You know, make it, give it a little bit more depth. Let you, like, harvest flowers and things like that from around the map and make your own potions on the fly.
You just want to turn League of Legends into an MMO, don't you, Doa?
It'd be like Morrowind. Or Morrowind. That's like the oldest Elder Scrolls game that anyone alive has played.
Wow.
Even though I know it's the third one, yeah.
Old man Doa with the sick video game references.
We played Commander Keen.
And Wing Commander?
Wing Commander. I never really played Wing Commander. No. It was Descent.
Oh, that was so good. What a great game.
In the DOS days.
You can play that on Steam now. Did you know that?
You can play pretty much anything on Steam these days.
Including Grim Fandango, which if you've never played, shame on you. Go play it.
Shame on me. Have not played it. A lot of poking onto Arrow and Chani early on here, as there should be.
Oh,
nice. Phosphorus bombed.
Yeah, using the fact that Sivir doesn't have that spell shield right at level 1 to make an impact right there, and level 2 will be hit first by KT Rolster.
Yeah. So they still get it, despite the poke, but now Jin Air the ones with lower health totals. Here comes Chaser right into a ward. KT backing off.
Yeah, good timing on that ward actually, and Chaser coming around, trying for, that's a really sneaky level 2 gank, by the way. If we look at his pathing, he went Gromp to blue buff and walked all the way across the map.
Oh no, Dark Binding Chaser trying to get away, but here comes Rek'Sai. He's forced to use the flash to get over the wall.
Yeah, no chance right there. Score had already done both buffs, had hit level 3, so Smart of him not to go for that little duel.
Don't
Unlikely
fight that.
ward timing. Now he's going to lose his red buff as well. Score is just punishing Chaser so hard this series so far.
No kidding.
I mean, I can understand why they would try that. That was actually a very clever little play.
Well, yeah, it was really heads up for
Really
Chani to have a ward there.
Well, yeah, really unexpected for them to have a ward there, and that's a really weird timing for a gank from a jungler. You don't expect that at all.
This is the kind of thing, too, where you wonder, you know, what these teams are seeing in their scrims, too, and if this is something that KT is aware that Chaser does, too.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I don't think they've been scrimming recently.
Well, not right now, but I mean, you know, in the past, perhaps. Yes.
Possibly. It was quite a little cute move, but not going to bear any fruit for Jinair so far. And Jack and Che doing a good job of CSing in a tough matchup. Everything looks about dead even in the top side of the map. Score looking for a lane gank right now. See if he can pull something off. Chaser not terribly slowed down. I mean, it's a bummer he didn't get the red buff, but it's not quite as punishing as it used to be before the new jungle. All the camps give you so much XP these days that you don't really fall too far behind in terms of gold or levels from losing a buff. There's plenty more wealth to be found in the jungle these days.
Yep. Lots of experience.
Yeah, Score actually going for enemy Gromp. He's really trying to counter jungle hard at this point.
Yeah. Well, he's taking a good opportunity here, man. I mean, Chaser went back. He had the really unsuccessful gank in the river, and Score knows that he can fight him, too, if he finds him.
That's right. Has that red buff advantage, so he'll be very confident going in. And he gets some deep wards down while he's at it for his trouble, and Chaser's going to waste some time walking up and going over the wall. Nope, there is no Gromp there. Chaser is sad.
No Gromp. Oh.
And he's not going to see the ward either. Good placement.
I guess. So Chaser just forced to kind of continue leveling as best he can.
And we heard tell as this season started up that a lot of the Korean teams considered Score like the best jungler in Korea, but we hadn't really seen it manifest yet. I mean, a lot of that was due to the weakness of his lanes, but Score's decision-making has been really solid so far this season. He just hasn't had strong laners to work with, so he's constantly having to cover for their weaknesses.
He also did. He was the one to ask to be put into the jungle role, too. It wasn't like something enforced where they're like, no, Arrow's the AD carry now. You have to go in the jungle. Score asked to go in the jungle, and it seems to be a pretty good choice.
Yep. Definitely has been working out for them so far. GBM already back in lane with a tier, so we have had recalls pretty early on for both of our mid laners. Of course, Ezreal wanting to pick up that tier as soon as possible to get that Muramana quite quickly. And there's Arrow taking a lot of damage actually from the Gatling gun.
Yeah, he's
low
getting bad mana. Yeah. Lets Captain Jack be a bit more aggressive. For sure.
Certainly does, just being a little bit annoying right there.
Rek'Sai back in the river now. Score waiting for an opportunity possibly in bot. Seeing if there's going to be any counter ganking chances.
Chaser's right here by the Krug, though, so this may turn out poorly for...
Oh, boy. Here we go. Chaser needs to get there fast. Captain Jack falcing in. There's a teleport coming down. Shay manages to make it out, but here's a teleport for someday. Trace comes down as well. Ults himself. Doesn't catch anybody with it, though.
Not sure
they got
why
a couple flashes
he
at
ulted
least.
himself right there.
I was kind of wondering the same thing. Yeah, he thought maybe he could catch a couple members of KT. I guess he did get a couple flashes out of it when things are all said and done, but kind of an awkward fight in the bot lane, but in the end, nobody dies.
Very risky, actually, for KT to gank right there when they didn't have any knowledge about where Chaser was, and he did happen to be so close, especially since they do have that ward in the top side, so they should have suspected he was somewhere in bottom side and could respond. So, not sure if I particularly like that play from KT. A little bit over-eager, but they do blow Chase Flash. And let's take a look at this one again. Chaser's low, however, so he can't really commit. I have no idea why he didn't just ult Score right there.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. Well, Chaser
I think he would. I mean, obviously he was concerned for his own safety, but even so, KT now going to use this opportunity on the recall time. Oh, there we go. Blue buff. Just hand it over to GBM. They're going to have to.
Oh, he got it with the whirlwind!
What is this?
Yeah.
What world do we live in? Doa score has now lost a Baron to a Dark Binding and a Dragon to a Jana Tornado.
Well, he didn't smite soon enough against the Baron, and he smited too early against the Dragon. And Jin Air apparently just stealing objectives with skill shots today.
Wow, and look at this. Chaser responding cross-map as well, taking the red buff.
Perfect.
Unbelievable.
Too early was the smite.
And the knock-up, too, prevented him from getting the auto attack that would have finished off that Dragon. So, oh my, KT, as good as score has been, his ability to press D, not so great tonight.
It's the fundamentals. His coach is going to make him load up a bot map and just practice smiting tonight now.
Wow.
Now.
That's why you always take the chance, man.
Yep, yeah, you got to try it. You don't lose anything by trying.
Yeah, there was no follow-up right there. I mean, that's not going to work out 99 times out of 100, but pays off big the one time it does.
That 1%, man.
It's like running the one crit room.
Yeah, exactly. Very true. Every once in a while, get that benefit. Well, so, in that case, things looking pretty good for Jin Air. Not too bad. Nobody's died yet. Good, good. Score an award. That's good for Jin Air as well, too.
Chaser also got vengeance for the red steal from earlier.
Yeah.
Very helpful for him to have that little bit of an advantage. So, Jin Air, nice reaction, regardless of whether they manage to take that or not. Score is very sad right now.
Yeah. It hasn't been a good day for objective. It's been a good day for pretty much everything else.
Hey, it's been a great day for towers for them, but not so great of a day for Dragons and Barons.
Yep. Having both stolen in one day, that's rough. Both stolen by just Qs too. Yeah, Morgana Q, Jana Q. This is what steals objectives, guys. Just Q it.
Just Q it.
We're going to get that Nike cross sponsorship at some point.
Brought to you by Smitey.
Smitey. Just cue it. Well, Smitey, you would think, would want people to be able to use Smite.
No, the Q is the Smite in this case, Noah.
I suppose that is true. Smote with Q. Yep. Smitey man support just didn't come through that time.
Oh boy. Well, Johnny and Score on the roam here into the mid side. Chaser clearing out a pink ward, but they know he is there.
Yes, they do.
They know that Hachani's there. Well, actually, they don't. They probably thought that was Chaser with the tremor sense, but nothing coming of a little movement into the mid lane.
Which is really strange, because if you were sensing things through ground, you know, reverberations and stuff like that, you think Jana wouldn't cause any because she's floating, whereas Jarvan would be like big, heavy footfalls because he's in armor, not footballs. Footfalls because he's in armor. So I don't know. Rek'Sai, I don't know if you can get like glasses for tremor sense or whatever, but
yeah, how does that work?
Yeah.
That's a great question. How can you detect Corki either?
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe there's like a little, no. It's not like he's got jet engines pointing at the ground. It's just like a little helicopter thing, so I don't know. Lissandra, too, doesn't really walk. She sort of, like, glides.
Well, she's connected to the ground via all that ice.
That is true. Although it's kind of like just rock spikes with this skin. With her extra face.
Well, I mean, Trace is doing a good job up in here. Oh. Pretty much just a farm fest so far.
Yeah.
Let's see. Q trading right there.
Yeah.
Trace is
just
happy,
Q it.
Happy farming up for the moment. Doesn't want to make the big plays. And here we go. Jarvan coming up into the top lane alongside Jana. We've had these 80 carries been farming by themselves, and they've been using the level 6 power spike on Corki. Of course, Captain Jack is going to see everything right there with the pink ward in the river. But Jack left to his own devices now that he can safely farm. He actually has pulled out to a farm lead against Arrow. Something that's pretty common, actually. Arrow not exactly known for his stellar CSing ability.
Well, yeah, Pilot was way ahead of him pretty much all game last time.
Looks like they're not going to try anything fancy right here. Sunday has that hop to get out of the Cataclysm, and looks like a recall from Chaser.
Yep. Meanwhile, GBM is a little bit down in CS, but not really in a worrisome way. Still pretty close.
Che hasn't been able to do much so far, actually.
Yeah. Well, aside from Steel Dragon with his Q, yeah.
I mean, he's been out on the map trying to make a play work, but he hasn't found that opportunity. Hachani in score. That is.
Oh, here he comes.
Well, now he's going to see that those Raptors are gone. Che is there. You should suspect that they are in the jungle somewhere. This is cute. And you see Oriana. Nagne is waiting right there. They're trying to spring this trap.
Oh, boy, they're trying to be so careful. Tremor Sense spotting people. Hachani and score ready.
Chaser and Che.
They know. They know there's something up here.
They should know that there's some shenanigans.
Chaser, he's going to walk right into it. Wow. Dark Binding, knock up. Che pops the ult. Will he use a Whirlwind as well? Oh, he got over the wall. Managed to make it out, and Che not getting stunned. There was teleports used by both sides. Captain Jack is right there. Score coming in. A kill, though. GBM just takes out Nagne in River. Captain Jack trying to get away now. He does not die quite yet. They make it back to the safety of the turret. And here comes Trace. They're going to lock up score with the W for just a moment. Going in again. Hachani getting low. GBM getting way to the backlines. Trying to take down score. They force the flash there. And Someday not able to get that Meganar. Not able to make plays. Meganar ran out way too fast. Dragon is alive again, too, so Jin Air could get a second Dragon off of this.
Yeah, looks like they absolutely will. Great timing. I mean, this is why you don't...
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. No, it's going to be okay.
No.
Yep. It's just a scary sound to go, whoa, over the wall, the W catches score, and there's a pick for Jin Air and another kill. Going on to GBM.
I would have ulted to a tunnel in my own jungle to try and contest that.
A little bit dangerous.
So let's take a look at what happened right here. I mean, there's just a teleport coming in. Nagne gets zoned out, and we're going to see the E right over the wall. Trace will ult Nagne, shot barrage, and there's an arcane shift forward straight into a Q, and that is lights out for Nagne. And then the end of this fight. I mean, there's a reason why most professional teams don't try and do what KT just did. You can collapse much faster if you're the Jin Air Green Wings, and Nagne could never find his way into that proper, and the rest of the follow-up right there. Trace with some really good Lysandra play over the course of that one, and then KT deciding to go right back to where that fight started. Score will pay for it for his life, so in the end, it is 3 kills and a Dragon for 0 kills in a tower for KT Rolster. KT Rolster at least got bottom tier 1. Not much else to show for it.
Yep. Tier 1 on top lane should be defended fairly easily by Trace. Meanwhile, Captain Jack getting a lot of damage done onto the spot turret. Yeah, quite the turnaround for Jin Air. GBM looking very comfortable on that Ezreal pick as well, too. It seems like another champion that he is going to do well on.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It really does fit with the rest of his champion pool well.
Yeah.
A big shocker score is waiting right there.
Yep.
And props to Jin Air for dealing with that very well. You can see Chaser is thinking much more clearly this game about where people can or cannot be, because he played out that gank so smoothly, using the Cataclysm and then immediately EQing over the wall. He had a plan in mind. He had the forethought. He was ready for that to happen.
Yeah. And Trace, is he ready for this? So there's the E getting away, score. Oh, Someday gets a stun. Trace knocked against wall by the Gnar ultimate. Score locks him up a little bit. Trace uses the W. Doesn't even need to use his ultimate. Had to flash, though.
Patient play by Trace right there.
Yeah.
He did have to flash, but he was saving his ultimate in case they dove him under the turret for a little bit of extra punishment.
Very methodical disengage by Trace there. And Rek'Sai coming back to his blue buff, it looks like. Gets knocked up immediately, though. Chaser and Che were waiting for him. Captain Jack is right there as well, too. Score getting trapped in the Cataclysm. And you'd think Rek'Sai could just burrow right under it, but no.
Already used her tunnel, unfortunately, to get out of that one. Chaser holding on to his ultimate until Score could not escape. So Score going to be the one making some questionable decisions this game. I guess it's just questionable decisions by junglers day.
It's a bad day for junglers. Apparently, Score is adding on to that by the fact that he can't smite anything, apparently.
Score is now, just ulted straight into his death twice in a row.
That's not how you're supposed to use that ult at all.
Well, it depends on if you have that one jerk teammate who's trying to troll feed the opposition.
True. That never happens in League of Legends. Come on. our fine, upstanding community.
Yeah, right. Good joke.
Wow, you sound so despondent, man.
I do, because fine and upstanding has never been a phrase where, you know, packs of 15-year-olds are involved.
That's true. That is true. I'll give you that. I think you just need to play some Nemesis Strap. Just relax, you know. You know what's funny is people keep giving me like Nami and Jana. Oh, Trace ults onto Someday. Here comes Captain Jack, the rest of Jin Air as well too. Trace running back. There's a what a huge set. That is a wombo combo, a double kill for Nagne. Make that a triple. Well, that's how you use the Nara ultimate and the Orion ultimate together.
Yeah,
wow.
Very convincing setup. You have to be so careful. Jin Air grouping. And this is a huge turnaround for KT. They're going to take a tower. Can they get anything else?
No kidding.
Out of this one. Looks like there's not really much more they can take. Jungle is cleared out. They're not going to be able to push to a tier 2 this early, but wow, that is why Jin Air has to be super careful about the engagements they select and must at all times stay spread.
Yeah, man. Rek'Sai, Gnar, Orianna, this is pretty scary stuff. They try to go in onto Someday. He's Mega Gnar. He's so tanky. Look at that ult, and then the ball immediately right on the Mega Gnar for the shockwave.
What a great team fight for KT.
Yeah, that was
There's
beautiful.
a flashboard right here as well to get that final third kill. Huge moment.
Boro's coming at you. Man.
Nagne has been performing much better tonight than he has.
Yeah, he has.
In any other series so far this season where he's been just an entire non-factor. His team fighting with Lysandra in game 1 was really on point. Didn't pick up a lot of kills, but managed to drag the fights out for an extended period of time and allow KT to win over the long haul. Now, that will be a tower for tower in the end, and gold lead still for Jin Air. Dragon lead also over to Jin Air.
Gold is pretty much dead even, as are towers right now, but it is the Dragons that really makes the difference at this point.
Interesting. GBM has gone for the Iceborne Gauntlet this game.
Wants to kite.
Yeah, wants to kite. Usually we see our mid lane Ezreals go for Trinity Force. Unless there was like a Zed in this game. That is a little bit confusing. Looks like they are committing pretty hard to kiting once again.
It does sort of counteract the Sivir ultimate to a certain extent.
That's true.
You pop that and then your team gets hit by Iceborne Gauntlet. Yeah, it's going to kind of make that ult not quite as useful.
And also KT, when you build the Iceborne Gauntlet here, the Sivir ult is the main way they have to engage. You really just want to follow up with the Gnar ult. That's a secondary form of engage. So that makes them really, really reliant on landing a binding or getting Rek'Sai a knockup, which is not a great way to engage. Yeah. So I think in this situation, having that Iceborne Gauntlet is going to prove pretty beneficial. Someday, trying to clear out this mid lane, but there's a lot of potential poke damage coming in. Someday will go into the Mega Gnar form right now. Can Jin Air last this one out before the Dragon is taken? GBM gets caught by a binding, but Arcane shifts out. No follow-up.
Close call there, but he's okay.
Well, he had cleanse if he needed it.
Oh, true.
So.
That's true. Now, if Mega Gnar is down, Jin Air can start making some moves towards this Dragon. KT backing off to their blue buff. They're just going to give Jin Air the positioning. Can they get this one? Achani getting caught. There we go. Oh, Chaser tried to lock him down the Cataclysm. They got the flash from Achani.
That's really important because now they can't flash in for a Soul Shackle. They can continue to kite Achani out very effectively. Much better poke. Score taking a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. That Iceborne Gauntlet really coming in handy. GBM gets the kill. Gets hit by the Dark Binding, but it doesn't matter. A kill coming in from Captain Jack as well, and it looks like that third Dragon is certainly going to go Jin Air's way.
You really can't win the poke game if you're KT, so they have to stay back, can't allow themselves to get caught up. That Iceborne Gauntlet really doing work right there. They will lose a tower for it.
Oh, it's so close, they'll save it.
Wow, they actually saved it and got the Dragon. They're going to try and put some damage onto a tier 2, but they're not going to get a whole lot, if anything, for it with Achani, with Che moving in there with the shield and Trace coming in just for a little bit of wave clear. We'll have that wave cleared out quite easily.
Yep.
W in the queue. Finally, they get the tier 1 in the mid, so they trade something for it. But again, better trades for Jin Air. 3 Dragons already down.
Yeah, let's watch this again. GBM again. You know, we talked about that Iceborne Gauntlet, immediately putting it to use, keeping score slowed, and even through that, Black Shield doesn't help a whole lot against AD. or really at all.
Well, it helped him not get slowed right there, but
it was already too late. He'd been slowed too much.
It was too late indeed. Yep. Arcane Shift Forge made that quite simple. So I like what we're seeing. GBM is playing this Ezreal a little bit differently. And man, his read on that situation that he could continue that follow-up in potentially a very dangerous moment.
Yeah.
Of course, somebody coming over the wall could have killed him quite easily, but knowing his limits and
the
really
Arcane Shift too, I suppose.
Punishing score. Well, the Arcane shifted forward. So
right, I mean, if it's someone who'd come over the wall.
Yeah, and he had his cleanse and flash up as well. So it wasn't too dangerous, but I like how far he went on that pursuit also.
Good. GBM, top mid laner. It's a reality.
It is a reality.
Yeah. After the last couple of years, it's strange to see, but it's really cool. Good for GBM.
Getting a little bit extra gold. He was given the Gromp right there so he could finish his last Whisper.
You know what really surprises me the most about Gank by Mom this season is not just that he's become good in-game, but that he's become good with so many different champions.
It really is amazing.
It's the rate at which his champion pool has climbed, I've never seen before.
Right. He suddenly became very good. I don't know what it was about his situation that transformed him from kind of a very limited Orianna Zed champion pool back in the early days on Frost to some weird off-meta Morgana Heimerdinger picks on the Falcons to now having a very meta-appropriate champion pool and also playing pretty much every powerful mid-lane champion. I think the only one we've really yet to see that I would consider like top-tier mid from him right now is Azir.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I have no idea whether he can play that or not. I would be interested to see him try.
Doesn't seem to really need it at this point.
No, and that's another thing that we have to mention right here. There were 4 bans against his champion pool in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, we look at his LeBlanc, his Xerath, his Ahri, his Lulu. These are champions that probably, those are all his most played champions this season. And now he comes out, first time Ezreal in the mid lane, seems to be doing very well.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind, too, is that there would have been an opportunity, depending on how the other picks had lined up, for him to play as Lissandra as well, too. So either way, he was going to have something that he was good on. You really can't ban out GBM right now, which is a sentence I never thought I would say.
It used to be so easy now.
I know. You ban Orianna, sometimes Zed, and you're like, well, there, job's done.
No more threats, but yeah, now it's becoming much more of a quandary as to what to ban against this Janair. And I think KT did really well overall in the picks and bans. They gave away the Lissandra, but they picked up the Morgana this time so that they have a little bit extra defense against the Frozen Tomb.
Captain Jack having a perfectly fine game himself as well. Looks like he's going to be going for that Bloodthirster after the Trinity Force. Same thing Pilot did last game. Worked out well for him. I suppose he could be going IE, but I would imagine it's probably going to be Bloodthirster. He's got that long sword with the BF sword.
Yeah, probably going to be that Bloodthirster, like you say. Well, Trace, I'm a bit interested to see what he does right now because you have a Sivir with a Spell Shield. And you have this Black Shield, and now Someday has a Banshee's Veil. So the number of targets that are ultable by Trace is declining. Also, Nagne picking up the Zhonya's Hourglass pretty early on into this one. In fact, prioritizing that over the Death Cap, thanks to the fact that he was in lane up against this Ezreal and wanted some extra armor to deal with all of that poke. But watching Trace's ultimates in these next fights is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
He may ult himself, actually, just because the extra slow combined with the Iceborne Gauntlet should lead to a lot of free auto attacks from GBM and Captain Jack. That may, in fact, be the best strategy for Janair to take in these team fights.
Certainly could. And Trace thinking about coming over the wall, but they don't want to overextend it all right now. Dragon is up in less than a minute. This would be their 4th Dragon if they can take it.
Yeah, this is really pivotal. To have a 4th Dragon before 30 minutes is a massive...
Really should have been 3.
Yeah, massive advantage. It really should have been number 3. But that, John-Q changing the course of this game.
Yeah.
Johnny trying to get into that brush, dodging some rockets as they want to take out this pink ward right here. No defense. GBM's deep into the mid lane, trying to push it back up. So KT will take control over the pit with that one. Nagne push out the wave to the bottom lane. There's a back and forth in terms of the vision control right now, but KT has that edge thanks to the mid lane tower being down. Oh, Jin Air going to try and take it. They have 2 Sheens. They're in a big power spike.
Well, they'll get that one easily, and now they can turn around on this and start to pressure KT back. And you're right, this power spike could not come at a worse time for KT Rolster, because if Jin Air is on 4 dragons this fast, the rest of the game is going to be on a knife's edge.
You know, honestly, Jin Air doesn't need this dragon. To a certain degree, now that they're in this 2 Sheen power spike, they already have the dragon buff and the 4 additional tower damage and the movement speed buff. They could actually just rush the mid lane right now and start to punish with further tier 2s. In fact, that may be a better strategy. Someday does hit that Mega Gnar. They have the speed shrine right in the dragon pit. It's just up right now.
Whoa, a lot of damage onto GBM. Good poke coming in from Nagne. And they're going to go for the dragon.
Yeah, I don't think Jin Air can do this.
They're going to get it? Yes, they will. And here comes Someday. An ult. They catch Chaser. Chaser gets out, though. No kills yet on either side, but the dragon is taken by KT. But like you said, you know, Jin Air not needing to go crazy trying to take it. They've got 3 already. They can let KT have that one.
I think they should have rushed. I think they should have just rushed the mid lane. I don't understand really why you poke right there. You see the Mega Gnar is up. They just took the Scuttle Crab for the Speed Shrine. You just got to say screw it at that point. They had mid lane pressure. Go take the tier 2. Punish them a little bit for it. Instead, they get nothing. But they could have taken that tier 2 so quickly. And still gotten out. Nobody up in the top side.
Yeah.
They have Janna, and they have the Dragon movement speed. There's no way that KT's really catching up.
They're making a move towards the Baron pit now. They're actually going to activate it. Well, GBM activates it. Doesn't look like they go for it.
Well, forced a Rek'Sai ult, however.
Yeah, they did. Okay.
Now, Chaser doing much better this game. He bounced back very quickly.
Yeah, everything's looked a lot more crisp as far as his mechanics go. He's not getting caught anymore. He's warding. That helps too.
KT really is, though, playing much better this series than we've seen them play before. Finally, some of their players are picking it up and making some plays. Of course, Nagne with that big triple kill.
Well, this is what we kind of expected from them, you know, all along, is stuff more similar to this. But it just has not happened until now.
All right, Jin Air trying to bait out the Baron a little bit. They do want to force some poke and see if they can contest some objectives. Pink Ward's going down, so Jin Air also being much more active about Baron vision control than we saw them in the last game. Now they attempting to take away this red buff. Someday, bottom side getting quite tanky now. Red buff will be snatched by Captain Jack. Not really anything that KT can do. Now this is, KT's really probably not going to be threatened by a Baron attempt right here. Jin Air is rather squishy, so it would be pretty difficult for them to take a Baron at this point. Any kind of engage from the Wombo from KT would be pretty deadly.
Well, KT at this point, I feel like they can kind of just wait it out until the next dragon, right?
Yep. KT can definitely play the long game in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, Jin Air will have some presence with their poke composition in the late game still, but it's all about them dodging the engage.
Oh, Captain Jack really
KT Rolster
living dangerously there, dodging every skill shot. Teleports up for both top laners, so Trace and Someday will be able to get wherever they need to get to very quickly.
Someday itemizing. It's like he'll probably get that Thorn Mail next just to be a little bit more punishing, but Snar maybe have an issue in the late game. GBM already has a Blade of the Ruined King now, though. He's been farming up a Storm.
Wow.
His kills and assists really helping him to push out, but Nagne now finishing his death cap as well. And
they're going for it. Here we go.
Sneak Baron.
That's right. Nobody really close by. There's the scrying run, so they get some vision on it. Rek'Sai coming in. I think it's going to be a bit too late, though. We'll see if Nagne can get it. No, not quite soon enough. And Jin Air manages to steal away a Baron.
Very methodical play from Jin Air right there. They found the opening they needed after continually controlling the vision around the pit. So they get one absolutely for free.
Well, this is a good game. Both teams are really doing a lot of what they should be doing. And Jinair is still clinging to a little bit of a lead. Dragging up in less than 2 minutes as well, too, now. So KT kind of wanted to wait for this one, but now they're going to have to deal with some extra lane pressure from a couple Baron-powered minion groups.
Right, and this is actually really problematic because with this composition, Jinair actually can execute a 1-3-1 split push because they have these two Sheen-powered AD carries with escapes.
Yeah.
So they can play pretty safely and just put on some very methodical pressure right here alongside the Lissandra with the teleport available for use. Looks like they're just going to set up around the dragon, go for number 4.
All right. KT does not want Jinair to have this one again. You don't want to be at that potential 5-dragon point in the game for one of the teams.
Can get pretty darn deadly right here.
Yeah. No, Trace nearly hopped on by Nar, but I wouldn't want to hop on Lissandra if I...
Actually, Sunday's in a really good position right now. He's going to force the ult out, actually.
Yeah, I guess so. Trace has to get back over the wall, but look at that. That's kind of hurt to jump on all those spikes, though. I would not want to do that.
Oh, that little ring around the rosy, though, is going to cost KT a tier 2 turret. Nobody there to defend against this minion wave, and this is that 3-lane pressure that they can exert pretty safely. I like how Jinair has identified this.
Yep.
That they can do it, especially with GBM on his own with Cleanse and Flash. I mean, on Ezreal, it's like nobody's going to be able to lock him down.
Oh, have they caught Hachani here? Dragon at 30, Captain Jack locked up with the Dark Binding, but Hachani in a little bit of trouble, dodging these skill shots somehow. There's some nice poke from GBM, and the True Shot Barrage, not enough. The shield saving him at the last moment. Jinair, though, should be able to turn on this Dragon now. If they choose to, a lot of damage onto Someday. They're going to push him back now. Put a bit more pressure on the mid lane.
GBM is doing a lot of damage to Nard, actually, thanks to the last Whisper. He is getting pretty scary, even with that Thorn Mail completed.
I was going to say, you don't often see a tanky champion with a Thorn Mail getting that much damage onto them. And there's a 4th Dragon for Jinair now. And things are getting a little bit worrisome for KT Rolster at this point. I should say maybe a lot bit worrisome.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like KT will be able to pull through on this one, but you never know. The thing is that while KT is behind, they still have this Wombo comp, and they only need it to work once in order to turn this game on its head. It doesn't even really matter how much gold they are behind.
We've seen what they can do.
They can be, I mean, if they're 10K gold behind, they probably still won't win, but 5, 6K, absolutely could turn this one around still. Yeah. But you can see after that first Wombo hit, Jinair been adapting, playing a lot more spread out, just playing to their win condition, playing for the poke.
To a certain extent, it's kind of fortunate for Jinair that they lost a fight like that early on, so they can be like, oh yeah, we have to be careful about this. We could get totally wrecked if we don't play safe.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see how far GBM is playing back right here.
Yep.
Just going through the jungle. Lots of wards, though, for KT. They have maintained good vision. They're not getting surprised in their own jungle.
Might have to change his name to GBGBM soon. Gank by mom. It's getting dangerous. Nagne really low health at the moment. He's going to have to go back.
Not a lot done with that Baron buff, though, when all is said and done.
Nope. Well, they did get the 4th Dragon. That was kind of the big thing. They got the tier 2 turret in bot lane. So a little bit.
It's a very patient game.
Yep. Chani must have eaten something that didn't agree with him.
They have to scream loudly like a banshee.
This pizza's too greasy.
It's the Morgana heartburn noise.
Yep. I think Lissandra's making more of a I ate something that didn't agree with me noise. Constantly,
the constant vomiting sounds.
Yep. That's right.
They should make a skin where Morgana just vomits, projectile vomits. Just disgusting.
Wow.
Well, they already have Kog'Maw projectile vomiting everywhere. I don't see a problem with diseased Lissandra.
It's a little bit different if it's like a humanoid, you know?
Is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit grosser, I think.
I don't know. Kog'Maw's pretty gross.
I am H.O. Monty. He is, but he's a monster. You expect him to be gross.
Food poisoning Lissandra.
That's right. Yep.
Don't even need to change the Korean sound effects. You could just use the Korean sound effects for all of the Lysandra skins across
all
regions.
the other regions. Yeah, that's a really good point. Wow, we are saving Riot so much money.
Don't even need to hire a voice actor.
No
just
kidding.
do the art.
You're welcome, Riot. And I'm sorry, voice actors.
Putting voice actors out of business.
I know, right? I'm just trying to spread the wealth. It's supposed to trickle down, isn't it?
Some say that it does. Others are more skeptical.
We're working on it. We just need Nami. I've heard she's an expert on the trickle-down effect.
Economist Nami.
That's right. The waterfall effect. You just get all the wealth right away. That's more like socialism, though, isn't it, I suppose?
Well,
politics
that's
and League of
arguable.
Legends. Depends.
All right. Oh, more pick attempts. Janair, strong ring of vision around the pit, but they are going to be seen by Scores Q. And Baron up at 30. Janair using that Raptor buff from Chaser to go ahead and clear out some of those additional wards. And setting up for the play. They really should be very careful about this, though. They shouldn't just do it, lest they be TP'd on by a very angry Gnar. But Mega Gnar has just been popped.
Just cue it. Just, oh.
I don't really know what they expected right there.
Well, I mean, they weren't moving. So, Score can't see them.
Yeah, GBM keeps getting hit by the Q. It reveals you for 2 seconds. Here we go.
Aha. Eat red hot true shot barrage. Score.
Well, they should know that the Baron's not being done because there's no movement in the pit.
Yeah.
They should actually, Janair needs to get better at acting. They should just be running around in little circles right now, pretending that they're dodging Baron skill shots. No, I'm being serious.
That's true. No,
They know there are no wards in there. They should be pretending to actually do the Baron.
Well, they're not pretending anymore. This is real.
See, now Jack's moving. Now they know they're doing it.
This is risky.
Man, Janair, get your acting skills together. At least pretend to take it.
Yep.
Oh, Arrow.
Arrow's in a rough spot. Someday coming in, though. There's the ult. Do they have any follow-up? Stun on the Chaser here. Score. Trace way behind enemy lines, going deep after Arrow pops at Zonia's, gives the rest of Janair a chance to catch up. Someday still kind of on his own, but he's so tanky right now. GBM in the Raven pit. Looks very comfortable, though.
Standing on top of a nice Tormented Soil. Well, nothing really going to come out of that.
Except for maybe a Baron.
Captain Jack
Maybe not.
was saved, really. Oh, he actually QSS'd. And I thought he has a QSS now. Che, I thought, used the Crucible, but Jack with a quick cleanse on the Someday stun. Not a really good ult from Gnar, though.
Yeah.
In that fight, really only.
It seemed like a lot of it was done because
Che.
he kind of had to save Arrow, you know? I mean, that's really what it was all about. Arrow got a little bit caught there.
All right, well, here's Dragon number 5.
Yeah.
No ults up, no Gnar ult means it's going to be a very difficult fight.
Oh, they're just going to give it to him, I
They
guess.
have to give this up, really. Yeah,
Oh, they're going to try to come in. Yep. Someday does not get knocked up. Thank you, Banshee's Veil.
Now it's a pretty easy time to push down on this Baron.
Yeah.
They get some more wards in. A couple pink wards on the side of Janair. Che will use his Oracle's Lens, start sweeping as best as he is able. Now they're not going to sweep that brush. Looks like there is in fact a green ward in there as well with the pink ward. Lots of minions up in the top side. Jay has to flash out of the shockwave, but that's yet another skill that's down. They really need these ultimates in order to team fight. Fortunately, some days is back up for KT. Yeah, I don't know about that, Dogne. I think that was the wrong time to use that ult.
Well, Baron being done by Janair right now can score, steal back something possibly here. He's in position. He's got his smite ready to go. Janair still poking away at that Baron. They're going to back off. They're going to turn onto Someday. Someday's got a GA, too. He is not going to go down easily. Baron regenerating some health there. Back up to full again.
They don't have any pressure right now. They really need to start moving down the lane. They don't want to fight in this pit.
Yeah.
Shockwave's going to be back up at about 30.
All right. Well, Janair thinking about pushing through mid, perhaps. Or just recalling.
Wow.
All right.
Not really using this aspect of the dragon. It is up.
Yeah.
halfway through right now. Of course, Jenner can continue to take that buff, but even so, Jenner playing very cautiously around this.
Yeah, KT could do something crazy here, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
I don't blame Jenner. This is the way you play this out. You're playing a Pocomp. You can't get too aggressive.
Yeah.
The danger of getting womboed.
Well, you don't want to lose those dragon buffs.
Pretty
you just got
severe.
Too. Yeah.
So they will just go back to controlling the waves, pressing this out, trying to turn something into that. And Someday has his TP up once again, so he will be able to safely clear out the wave here on the bottom side. Giant Jarvan has entered the rift.
Giant Jarvan.
I love the fact that they added an item that increases model size.
It is fun. Well, here we go. Baron being taken by Jenner. The rest of KT there. Jenner may have to break up this one. They're not going to. Teleport coming down. Jenner does back
Trace
away.
with the great positioning.
That's right. They could come from the side here if they wanted to. Trace ready to come over the wall.
I don't think they know that Trace is there either.
I don't think so either. KT being very reluctant to commit to anything. Here we go. Trace over the wall. What an ult! What an engage! A double kill immediately for Trace. And Jenner annihilates KT. Wow. That was fast.
What a great bait by Jenner.
No kidding.
Trace knew his target, and that was the question. Who is he going to ult? But he surprised Nagne before Nagne could Zhonya's and just annihilated him in the back line, taking out the carries. Fantastic flank.
Yeah, and when you've got that 5 dragon buff, you do not need Baron to do something like this. Obviously, only Someday and Score left to defend. The turret's going down. Jenner with a good chance to end it right here. Score and Someday have to do quite the mammoth defense, but look at that. Someday knocked away. Nexus vulnerable now. Score taken down. Looks like Someday soon to follow, and nobody else will be up in time. GA doesn't matter. GG. Jenner takes game 2.
What patience from Jenner.
That's
waiting
a bit more
for
like
the
it.
perfect engage.
Yeah,
Not over-committing to any objective, and then they find it. Trace gets in with an insane angle on that Lissandra ultimate.
It's a great fight.
Right in a choke point in the enemy jungle.
Much better game for
Crushes
Chaser as well, too. Much more methodical, much more intelligent. And apparently, we've learned that pretty assuredly now at this point, you cannot ban out GBM.
Yeah, very interesting. And I like Jenner's confidence as well, banning out the LeBlanc and the Lulu. Lulu a bit surprising to me that they would ban that out. LeBlanc not so much, because that has been a go-to for Nagne. But instead, they turn it around, and there you go. Trace will never look happy, even though he just had a crazy play that won the game.
He's kind of like Ryu, or only where Ryu looks sad, Trace just looks kind of upset all the time.
I think he looks angry.
Yeah, kind of angry. Yeah. It's like, oh, I have to put up with all this stuff.